Oh, sorry. I just got my driver's license for this thing. I don't think we've met. I'm Shirley. I've seen you around here a lot, and I figure you must be an important person.
And you should know better than to bother me.
That brooch, is that a Van Cleef? I've never owned anything that extravagant, but I read all the jewelry magazines. I recognize it from the pictures. I'm a designer also.
Oh, really? Excuse me.
I'd love to show you my work sometime. You're obviously a woman of impeccable taste.
Oh, well, then you'll fully understand why I would never be caught dead wearing some art project that you made in recreational therapy.
Lena, get away from her.
There's your baseball glove. You left it at your father's.
It's not mine.
Can you put it in his room?
Sure. Where were you last night? Jax was here and he wanted to talk to you. He waited a long time.
Well, I'll call him later. Went to see your father.
About Michael?
Yeah. And you? We made a pretty big decision about your future.
Got a minute?
I don't know, Sonny. I'm pretty busy.
It's kind of important.
Yeah, I heard about Michael. That's terrible. There's no justice.
The judge basically put him in prison for being my son.
That's really tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I put this whole thing in motion. Now my son's paying the price. But that's not why I'm here.
Yeah, well, why are you here?
I came to apologize for accusing Ethan of beating up Christina when he didn't do it.
Well, you did more than that, man. You wouldn't listen to reason. You jumped to conclusions. You very nearly murdered my son.
If your son had ended up dead, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, it would have been a terrible tragedy.
It would have been more than that. It would have just been the beginning of the bloodshed. You don't really think I would have let you kill my kid and live, do you?
If it's any consolation, I didn't walk away from this clean. Michael's in prison.
Did you sleep at all last night? Because every time I woke up, you were awake, and I think you were watching me.
You know, there were places I traveled that I knew I would never be back to, and I would just try to take it in and save it all up, and that's what I always try to do with you. Just to appreciate you. How amazing you are.
Why does it feel like you're saying goodbye to me?
Because I am.
You want to harass me? That's fine. But
But you start messing with my patients and you've crossed the line.
What's going on?
Oh, I was simply passing through when I was accosted by this one hawking her wares. Really, Dr. Weber, you might want to ask yourself if you're running a hospital or a flea market.
Helena has no business here. I'm so tired of her circling like a vulture.
Oh, you know, all this vitriol can't be good for my great-grandchild. Now, I would be very happy to cover the cost of sending Elizabeth back to her lovely, lovely room at Shady Grove.
Okay, that's enough.
Well, maybe we should page an obstetrician and have him prescribe a sedative. No, something safe for baby, but something that would calm Mommy down.
Would you please take Miss Smith back to her room so I can have a word with Helena?
Come on. I want to show you those earrings I told you about.
Now, I realize that Elizabeth is your sister, but to behave...
Give it rest. I know. This is just a game for you. One I have no interest in playing. So against my better judgment, I'm going to turn around and walk to the desk. And when I turn back around, if you're gone, great. If you're not, I'm calling security, and I'm sure they would be happy to listen to you flap your gums as they carry you to the curb.
See, that's the woman I was telling you about. I know you think I'm exaggerating, but she really is dangerous.
I knew who she was. I just wanted to get up close and personal, like pressing your nose against the glass of a shark tank in an aquarium.
You don't know how dead on that analogy is. I'm sorry she insulted you at your work.
I would never let anyone like that wear any of my pieces.
Just promise me if you ever see her again, you'll just stay away from her, because I don't want her to hurt you to get a reaction out of me.
Friends, we are, aren't we? I'm terminal. What can Helena do to me?
The death of Kiefer Bauer was a tragic accident. My client admits to driving the car and leaving the scene, but the extenuating circumstances in this case were extreme. She had just found her 17-year-old daughter who'd been assaulted. Alexis Davis was in shock, and her only thought was to get this poor, battered girl to the hospital. Okay. But you're not interrupting me like you usually do, which means that you must be terrified.
Leaving the scene of an accident is a Class D felony. It's a maximum of 7 years.
7 years, yes, I know. And I know that this is not your first offense, but a Class D felony with these circumstances, Alexis, any judge in their right mind is going to give you community service and a suspended sentence.
Oh, tell that to Michael. He killed Claudia by accident. He didn't come forward right away, and the judge used him as an example. What if that happens to me?
I was not thinking straight. I mean, when I walked into the hospital, saw my little girl, the way she looked, all I could think about was taking down the animal who did this to her.
I understand that. I don't think any man who's got a daughter wouldn't. But I also don't understand why you were willing to jump to conclusions and not listen to reason and not even care to hear the truth. You were willing to put my kid on a slab in the morgue, man. How can I ever forgive you for that?
If you believe in karmic justice, it's landed on me because I threatened to take the life of your son. And now I'm losing 3 of mine.
Your father and I, it's our responsibility to do what's best for you. And we've made a lot of mistakes. And Michael being in prison is our fault.
No, it wasn't. The judge and Dante, they did this to him.
Look, we're Michael's parents, and we should have done things differently. I can't go back and change what happened to Michael, but I can make sure that what happened to your brother doesn't happen to you.
Don't worry, I'm not going to prison.
I'm gonna make sure of that. Your father's business is too dangerous. So, you won't see Sonny anymore. He won't come here to visit, and you're not going to go to his house.
Like when I didn't see him before, after Michael got shot?
Well, this time it's a little different because I'm not going to reconsider. Until you're an adult and able to make your own decisions, Sonny will not be a part of your life.
I'm losing everyone. Michael's in prison and I already lost Dante and Jax.
No, you're not losing Jax. You won't lose Jax.
Jax says you two are getting a divorce.
Maybe so. But Jax still loves you very much.
Michael would say I should fight to be with my dad.
Michael would want what's best for you. And we just all want you to be safe. That's all.
The deal I made with Anthony to protect Michael, it's just not enough.
All right, well, what else can you do?
Well, the only thing I can do is protect Michael in prison. That means I gotta get in there with him. So I'm gonna go to Claire. I'm gonna offer to plead guilty to any charge that she can think of, with the condition that I am sent to Pentonville as Michael's cellmate.
But Claire turned you down the first time when you offered to plead guilty in Sonny's place. But Jason, I think you should try again. I do. I really do. This is for Michael, and he is alone and scared, and your place is with him.
ABC's General Hospital, brought to you by Red Baron. Bring home that pizzeria taste.
Starting tomorrow, One Life to Live finds its voice in a 3-day musical event. Romance takes hold.
I love you, cold, hard, heart.
And won't let go. And it all leads up to one unforgettable night where anything can happen. Tomorrow, One Life to Live.
You've repeatedly asked me to keep my distance from the hospital, so why the change of heart?
Your grandmother is roaming the halls untethered. Not only is she tormenting Elizabeth, she's interacting with patients in a manner I'd characterize as anything but therapeutic.
Is she physically threatening anyone?
Her presence is a threat to anyone who knows her history. You know that she upsets Elizabeth, so why don't you do your best to keep them apart?
This isn't about my grandmother, is it? It's an excuse because you're not happy that I'm the father of Elizabeth's child.
I'm not happy about a lot of things, Nicholas. First on my list is your family's personal drama interfering with my ability to deliver quality patient care.
Okay, well, why don't you just focus on that and allow Elizabeth and I to work out our differences ourselves? And since this isn't personal for you, let me remind you that I am a trustee here, so the next time you speak to me in that condescending tone, I'll just bring you before the board.
Dante despises me, Michael's in prison, and Carly wants me to give up Morgan. So, you work so hard at being a good father, and this is what happened.
Yeah, I know. It's rough. You know, the truth is, maybe you and I were never cut out to be fathers. I mean, the lives we lead outside the confines of the law, unable to walk away from a fight, the fallout of that is bound to hit your kids sooner or later.
I miss Dante's whole life. I mean, that decision was out of my hands, but I've seen what happens, the misunderstandings. I don't want the same thing to happen to Morgan. But Carly's a mother. She has sole custody, and she's not giving me a choice. And after what happened to Michael, I can't really blame her.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were entertaining.
Come here, Ethan. I just want to say that I apologize for the threats and accusing you of beating up Christina when you were 100% innocent. And the reason she didn't want to tell me because she was afraid I would go after Kiefer, and she wasn't wrong.
Well, no, I hope things work out for Christina. Well, she's a good girl.
Yeah, today at 4. Okay, thanks. I'm sorry, did you and I have an appointment? You put my son in prison for 5 years. You can't give me 5 minutes?
I don't know what to tell you that I haven't already told your husband and Detective Falconeri. None of us wanted to see Michael in prison.
So what are you going to do about it?
I've advised Diane Miller on potential grounds for an appeal.
You advised. When you took over this case against Sonny, you were the badass federal prosecutor who was going to chew us up and spit us out without even breaking a sweat. And now, after all your big talk, the trial ends with the boy going to prison. You want to hide behind your desk?
If there was a way for me to help Michael, I swear to God I would. I get it now. Michael is a frightened, screwed-up kid who got caught up in a mess because of his father's
You
dream.
helped with that mess, and Dante called out Michael.
At least I can plead ignorance. I wanted Michael in court because I thought he was a witness. If you and your son had been straight with me from the start, none of this would have happened.
Don't you think I know that?
Hey, I know that you feel like this is the right thing to do. I mean, having Anthony Zakar as your protector can't be too comforting, and Ward knows that Johnny Zakar is pretty reckless, and if anything happens to him, Anthony's not going to protect Michael.
That's why I need to get on the inside and make sure Michael's safe.
The sooner the better. I lost you once, Jason. I don't know how long you're going to be gone or when I'm going to be able to see you again, but I need you to know that you are not going to lose me again, ever again.
And I want you to know that I love you so much.
I love you too. When I feel alone, I'm just going to close my eyes and pretend that I'm right here in your arms.
Thank you, my darling.
If you're grateful for something I did, then perhaps I shouldn't have done it.
Well, you stepped up to defend my honor. A noble task.
Yeah, more noble than sneaking around and eavesdropping on people.
Oh, it's so nice that we've finally begun to appreciate each other.
I simply put Dr. Weber in his place. Don't mistake it for approval of your behavior. Stop antagonizing Elizabeth.
Well, I did nothing of the kind. No, Elizabeth's histrionics are merely an attempt to attract male attention. Nicholas, if you are not careful, she is going to manipulate your child right out of your life.
This is a perfect place for a table sale of my pieces.
Remember, your pieces are unique, so they might not appeal to the masses. I just wish that everyone
If
would
wishes
appreciate
were
them.
horses, then beggars could ride. The worst that could happen is I'll fall on my face, then I'll dust off my nose, pick up my teeth, and try something else.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, too.
Take your time, dear. Jewelry design is not for everyone.
No, I mean, I can't be afraid to try, because if there is some chance for me and Lucky, then I need to figure it out.
Ill-gotten coin? Yeah, but not much of it. I thought I had a lead on Alcazar's treasure, but that one all went bust. Scott put you on the trail.
Where have you been?
Raising funds for widows and orphans.
Hong Kong. Did the widows and orphans like the presidential suite at the Peninsula Hotel? $600 a night, and that was just for the room service?
Sweetheart, you know, I can't let a waif go hungry when I'm having room service. Come on. This was a legitimate business expense.
What kind of business?
The usual. Banking, investments.
I don't have any holdings in Hong Kong.
Well, apparently Lorenzo Alcazar did.
So you used my money to take a road trip to help Sky.
Hey.
Hi.
Is everything okay? You sounded kind of worried on the phone.
My hearing on Kiefer's accident is today.
Oh, I am so sorry. I forgot with everything that's going on with Michael. What are all these?
Birthday cards.
Cards.
Obviously, I don't sleep anymore, so I stay up at night. And I was looking last night at pictures of Molly and Christina, and I realized I missed all your birthdays.
Now that you're 3.
Kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
No, it is anything but ridiculous. Thank you.
I have to be in court soon, so I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, do you want me to go with you?
No, I do need something from you, though. I don't anticipate going right from the courthouse to lockup.
No, not at all. I mean, you're supposed to just get some sort of probation or something like that, but given everything that's going on with Michael, I guess anything's possible, huh?
I need to make sure that the girls are going to be okay.
Okay.
And Rick is in California, and Sonny is not. Well,
Sonny.
yeah. If things don't go well today, I want you to take the girls. I know that I've questioned some of your choices, and I had no business doing that because mine haven't been so good. But they love you, and I know that you love them. You've been amazing through all this, Sam.
I don't anticipate anything going wrong, but if it does, yeah, absolutely, I would be honored to take the girls.
Thank you.
You're, probably worried about Jason. You know, I know that you don't want the girls to be around him, and I don't think that that's going to be a problem.
Just came from Luke's, and I saw Ethan. Apologized to him because of what happened with Christina. And also I want to say thank you because I would have hated to do something I regretted.
I'm not convinced the deal I made with Anthony to protect Michael is enough.
Well, you know I never trusted Anthony. I just don't see like any other option.
I'm gonna get myself sent to prison.
The reason I came at you the way I did, before the trial and on the stand, was because I had very little respect for a woman who would cover for a man like Sonny Corinthos.
He's the father of my boys.
And you're their mother. It's your first duty to protect your kids from anyone or anything that threatens them. Being in the same room with Sonny puts them at risk. And now I see you weren't lying for Sonny. You were just trying to protect your son.
I don't want or need your approval. I want my son out of prison.
Well, Jax had to move and shake things around to get me assigned to this case. He is your best chance in getting Michael home to you.
General Hospital will continue in a moment here on ABC.
You paged me?
Yes. I wanted to hear directly from you what happened with Helena earlier.
Nothing that hasn't happened before. Helena was just her usual terrible self, except not only to me, to one of my patients who happens to have terminal cancer. She's becoming more obnoxious and entitled by the minute, Nicholas. It's time to send her away.
I told you I want her here so I can keep a close eye on her.
Keep a closer eye, then.
You think you might be overreacting a bit?
Really? Is this the same woman who kidnapped Lucky and staged his death, and that's just one of how many crimes? I do not have the time or the energy to be dealing with your deranged grandmother, okay? I am trying to rebuild my life again, and the last thing I need is to be constantly looking over my shoulder.
Look, I get all the history, okay? But I think that there's a part of this that you're not willing to admit.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, maybe the perceived threat is a way just to get Lucky's attention.
Well, I already have Lucky's attention, and unlike you, he's not going to stand around and watch Helena stalk me and my unborn child. It's time to send Helena away.
I'll deal with Helena. the way I see fit.
Nicholas, I hope you know that I'm going to raise this child to recognize the danger the Cassadines represent, even if the father is in denial about it.
You know what? Don't use history as an excuse to shut me out of my child's life, okay? I don't want to fight with you, but I will if I have to.
Why so glum? No, everything is going exactly according to plan.
I apologize, madam. Tracy Quarterman has been asking questions about the recently departed lab tech. Sky needed my help. She came to me.
So you took off with her?
No, I didn't. I went alone. She was here. You saw her just the other day.
You've been gone for days.
Well, check the receipt, sweetheart. I flew solo.
So you were playing detective, hoping to find Lorenzo's hidden loot so you could what? Ditch me?
Oh, Spanky, for God's
Don't even, Luke. You have had your eye locked on Sky since way before you tricked me into marrying you.
I love being married to you. And you love being married to me, don't you?
I'm not going to pay the freight so that you can take off with another meal ticket.
Tracy, that's not what's happening.